Shohei Ohtani's 45th home run rocks the nation, bringing back beautiful memories from 4 years ago. Shohei Ohtani, who had been away from the sun for the past few games, finally cut through the San Diego sky. In the ninth inning, he perfectly caught a high fastball thrown by Matsui and sent the ball flying straight into the right field stands. The crowd erupted in screams and cheers, and the entire Petco Park was instantly filled with silence. It was a hit that sealed the Dodgers' 8-2 victory, and it also marked the moment when Ohtani returned to the top of the league home run rankings. However, it wasn't that swing itself that shook the world. After circling the diamond, Ohtani did something surprising on his way back to the dugout. He walked over to the Padres fans who had been heckling him whenever necessary throughout the game and held out his right hand. It was not the usual ignorance or expression of indifference, but rather a gesture of ease and humor. At that moment, the hostile stands were enveloped in a moment of confusion and silence. The American media all covered this scene. The headlines of young news sites and TV programs were filled with sensational words, describing the incredible high five that had occurred in a place more shocking than any other. The sight of the person who had been heckling him suddenly accepting Ohtani's outstretched hand was etched in people's memories as a drama that transcended the outcome of the game. This series of actions has spread beyond the boundaries of mere sports and has become a cultural shock. A British commentator reported on the cover that the meaningless insults had been turned into silence, and Japanese media reported that the behavior had captivated even the enemy. His 45th home run was not just a numerical record, but a typical shot by Shohei Ohtani, who simultaneously demonstrated human dignity and humor through the team that is baseball. Shohei Ohtani's 45th home run was a sensation across the United States, and the high five he showed with the enemy fans immediately afterwards. The incident was addressed by legendary Red Sox slacker David Ortiz on a TV show. Normally, a superstar would have ignored it or given it a cold stare. But Shohei was different. He instantly turned the person who was provoking him into a laughingstock for the world. That high five was the perfect move to completely silence the meaningless insults. Furthermore, commentator Rodriguez made this move public. The home run itself was enough to shake the stadium. But Shohei didn't stop there. He delivered a second blow with the high five. It wasn't just revenge, it was an ironic display of mercy mixed with anger and tolerance. As a result, the fans who had been screaming wildly could only smile wryly, and Shohei had completely won the psychological battle. Fans who witnessed this scene on the screen couldn't believe their eyes and were soon overcome with excitement. After silencing the stadium with a home run, he subdued his opponent with one more gesture. This was the true presence of the world-famous Ohtani, an overwhelming charisma that captivated even his opponents. The Dodgers clubhouse after the game was filled with a feverish excitement that seemed to be a fateful disaster. The Clayton Carr Award was a success for the press. Shohei didn't just win with numbers. He brought baseball back to where it should be. He took the game seriously, but he never forgot the circumstances of his opponent. That attitude is the essence of sportsmanship. The veteran left-hander's words were filled with pride and gratitude from the entire team. There was unstoppable laughter in the dugout. The players exchanged high fives and talked about that shocking high five over and over again. Freddie Freeman patted Ohtani on the shoulder and said, "You have etched this moment into the world." Everyone thought they had created unforgettable history. His expression was one of trustworthy leadership and respect for his teammates. The scene that day meant more than just a victory. It was a sight of individual talents coming together, united as one with smiles and trust. The leadership of the Carr Award, Freeman's competitive spirit, and Ohtani's charisma. Everyone was convinced that these things were intertwined beautifully and were the driving force that would lead the Dodgers team to the next level in history. Mike Trout, who played alongside Shohei during his time with the Angels, also spoke about Shohei's 45th home run that day. He looked back on it in an interview as follows: "That scene reminds me of the events of 2021. Despite the rain that caused practice to be canceled, Shohei went around signing autographs for each and every child. He is the one who gives people hope beyond numbers and results. And today, despite being provoked so much on enemy territory, he finally overcame it all with a high five at home plate. He captivates not only children but also the fans who are retreating from the opposing team. That is what makes him a Shohei. Meanwhile, manager DeRoberts spoke with a wry smile. That father was really persistent and just unpleasant. He was definitely not being funny, but Shohei didn't react with anger, but instead silenced them with a home run and finally held out his hand. It was truly an elegant execution. Experts describe this event as the pinnacle of the psychological line. A style that only those with overwhelming ability and unwavering confidence can achieve. Even while crushing his opponent, he smiles and shows his understanding afterwards. Those two stars are what make Shohei Ohtani stand out as a unique figure. After the game, an unusual light spread outside Petco Park. Fans from the Dodgers and Padres argued violently, and the scene was temporarily in chaos as fistfights broke out. The media made extensive use of the incident, criticizing the fact that enthusiasm had turned violent. It was a moment when the outburst of emotions over a junior player went beyond the boundaries of sports. However, in contrast to that chaotic scene, a completely different scene was being depicted on the field. Despite being bombarded with arrows from the opposing fans, Shohei Ohtani eventually stepped forward, extended his hand, and exchanged a high five. That action became a symbolic gesture that brought the statue down and completely changed the atmosphere in the stadium. It was a moment that demonstrated the power to connect people beyond the boundaries of victory or defeat. Mookie Betts also had a great time after the game. Shohei is like a unicorn in the baseball world. He is the only one who can move everyone's heart. That high five was not just a handshake. It was a declaration that baseball is not just about winning or losing, but about creating connections between people. His words resonated as a heartwarming message that was the polar opposite of the chaos outside the stadium. For Japanese fans, the spectacle of that day was not just about a single victory. The moment Yamamoto Yoshinobu calmly pitched through 6 innings and Shohei Ohtani hit his 45th home run in the 9th to seal the game, baseball fans all over Japan erupted in excitement. People cheered in front of their TVs, and others shared their excitement on social media, all of whom were proud of the Japanese player's performance. NHK's commentators were also impressed by the live broadcast. More than numbers or wins or losses, what Ohtani demonstrated today was the power of culture. That moment when he embraced the provocation on enemy territory with a smile and turned it into a high five was a bridge that transcended baseball. Only someone like him can reach people beyond baseball. These words struck a chord with many viewers, and voices of sympathy spread on social media. Meanwhile, the Padres fan who exchanged that high five himself also revealed his feelings in a post-game interview. At first, he was shocked. I had been heckling him the whole time, so I never thought he would approach me. The next feeling was embarrassment. And then, in the end, incredible joy. That moment will never be forgotten. Even though he was on the defensive, his heart was moved by the star's quick and easy move, and his confession became a testament to the power of sports. It was a single swing of the bat that shook the Padres. But it was the hand that was extended afterwards that shook the world. The moment he silenced the opposing team with a home run and then walked over to the provocative fan and exchanged a high five, the stands, which had been a symbol of conflict, suddenly became a stage of harmony. It was a historic gesture that turned an enemy into an ally. This victory was more than just a regular season game. What Shohei Ohtani demonstrated was a new way of playing baseball that combined strength with human tolerance. He didn't just pursue numbers and records, he moved people's hearts through sports, transcending conflict and bringing people together. His image will surely be remembered as a figure who changed the times since Babe Ruth. That night was deeply etched in the memories of baseball fans not only in America, but also in Japan and around the world. The unprecedented gesture of shaking hands on enemy territory was not just fan service or provocation. It was a historic moment that demonstrated the power of sports to surprise, move, and connect people.